Hi everyone, my name is Emmy. Welcome to AutoNotes. Today I'm going to give you a quick run through of how to document your first session within AutoNotes. So right here, we're on the sessions page. This is going to be your main starting point in AutoNotes where you'll create all of your documentation, whether you're documenting a session you've already had or preparing for one that you're about to record before hopping in. The first step is selecting the service that you're providing. AutoNotes includes a variety of services by default, but any of these services are customizable and you can also create your own from scratch. We have separate tutorials that walk through that process, so today I'm just going to be utilizing one of our default services and our most common, which is individual therapy. Next, I'll select the output formats that I want to be generating. Again, we have a bunch of default output formats that are commonly associated with the service that you select. But if you ever want to change any of these output formats that you see here or customize your own, we have some tutorials on how to do that as well. For this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and select two common output formats, which are SOAPnote and DAPnote. If you practice through a specific therapeutic modality, you can also indicate that right here under modalities. We have a bunch of common modalities that are found in clinical practice, and AutoNotes will generate your documentation through the lens of that modality. For this one, I'm just going to keep CBT selected. Down here is where we indicate how we want to document our session. Again, if I were to begin a live session, this is where I would switch over to recording. AutoNotes lets you record an in-person session or telehealth session, capturing audio from both your browser or a desktop app, and even works in capturing group sessions and identifying the different speakers that participate in a session. Since we're documenting a past session, I'll stay with typing a summary. So right here, you only need about 2 to 3 sentences to give AutoNotes enough context to generate a quality document. If you'd like, you can absolutely include more detail or simply free write or utilize our dictation feature where you can just free speak out loud, and AutoNotes will even let you know once you provided enough information, which is typically around 30 to 60 words. I just pasted a quick summary that I have right here, and we'll move on to the next part. Next is one of my favorite features, which is assigning a client. This is the part of AutoNotes that makes documenting so powerful because when you attach an existing client, AutoNotes securely pulls relevant clinical context from previous notes, treatment plans, and screening tools, and all of that context helps create continuity across all of your documentation instead of treating every note like a fresh start. If this is a brand new client, everything you document today becomes the foundation that AutoNotes uses going forward. Assigning a client is completely optional, but if you do use it, AutoNotes is HIPAA compliant and securely supports PHI. If you'd like to learn any more about our security practices, you can always visit our Trust Center or reach out to the team. I'm going to go ahead and attach one of my existing clients, Jane Doe. And now you can see a quick overview of their history right here. So now that I have her attached, AutoNotes will use her historical context and today's session summary when generating her documents. Next are a few additional input fields. If you want to customize what you see here, add or remove anything, you can always do so in your settings. For the mental status exam, if my client was within normal limits, I would just select yes. Otherwise, I can document any relevant observations that I noted in today's session. For this example, I'll just select yes, and we'll keep moving on. For risk assessment, I'll indicate if there's any danger to self or others, and if I select yes here, you'll see an entire risk assessment open, where I can apply more context to the documents that I'm going to be generating. Again, I'm just going to select no, and we'll move on to the last part, which is whether or not I want to include a medical necessity statement. For this example, I'll just select yes. Once everything looks good, I'll select generate notes, and now AutoNotes is working on my documentation. So within just a few moments, AutoNotes generated a SOAP note and a DAP note for me, and each document reflects the information from today's session while also incorporating relevant information based on my client's care history. Before finalizing, I can make manual edits in the text boxes below each section, but if I want to make broader changes to the overall document, I can utilize our magic edit feature, and right here I can give AutoNotes additional instructions like changing the tone, expanding a section, or adjusting any of the structure. I'll go back to my document, and given that everything looks all good, I'll go ahead and select finalize. Once we finalize this document, it'll save it to your client's profile, making it part of their ongoing clinical history, which then help to inform future notes, provide helpful client insight, and even generate treatment plans. I'll just select finalize, and I can download my document right here, or copy it all to then paste into my EHR, or wherever I may want to store my document. And if I ever need to access these documents later, I'll just head to my client's profile and find them right here under the Documents tab. So that's the main workflow of creating documentation with AutoNotes. Be sure to check out all of our other features that live within your client's profile, like generating treatment plans, setting forms and screening tools, and adding in chart notes, as well as our customization features, like creating custom output formats and services to best tailor AutoNotes to your practice. We have a bunch more videos on all of those features, so be sure to check them out or reach out to our support team if you need any assistance. Thank you so much for watching, and we're here if you need us.